right, tomorrow is World Stroke Day, and the American Heart Association is celebrating survivors.
Medical reporter Liz Bonus shares the early warning signs.
Hey there, everybody. A stroke is an injury to the brain, and those warning signs go by an acronym of face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty, and time to call 911, or FAST. Leah Reigert knows the importance of identifying those signs. She suffered a stroke shortly after the birth of her child. We spoke to her along with Dr. Andy Ringer, a stroke specialist at Mayfield Brain and Spine and Tri Health, preparing for this weekend What's Happening in Health.
10 days after I gave birth to my daughter, and a couple of days after being diagnosed with postpartum heart failure, my husband noticed the right side of my face was drooping, and he took action immediately. I didn't even realize the magnitude of what was happening to me until I was in the ambulance and I couldn't speak or move the right side of my body. The night was terrifying, as you would imagine, seeing the Cincinnati skyline as I was being air cared, watching the neurosurgeon pluck the clot from my brain from the large monitor before us.
That's the kind of intervention that can be life-saving and life-changing. But Dr. Ringer says the sooner you get someone you think is having a stroke medical attention, the more options for treatment, and it's more cutting edge now than ever before.
These techniques, again, are fairly new, really in the past 10 years or so that we've been able to do them, and more that we study these techniques, the more effective we find that they are. And what we've learned is that means we can treat people for much farther down the line than we used to think we could. So it used to be that only with about 3 or 4 hours after the stroke was the limit for treatment. That moved up to 6 hours with some clinical trials, and now can be as long as 24 hours for some people after their symptom onset. So it becomes more and more important that people are aware of these signs and symptoms of stroke and get those patients to us as quickly as possible.
Both Leah and Dr. Ringer remind us FAST and World Stroke Day also about prevention, keeping blood pressure normal, not smoking, two of the top things to stop a stroke. We have more Saturday at noon, Sunday at 6 a.m. on What's Happening in Health.